Welcome back to On the Way. This the first series that I will try to make it in a series lah, in a way. From this, we have asked everyone to send me their handwriting, just to see whether they are either a person that is neat, or maybe they are not neat, or maybe most of them they have the opportunity to be one of the most expected occupation by the Asian parents. Yes, a doctor. Yes, just the doctor. Most of your parents, they are not even when they look at your handwriting, they'll be asking you, why are you not writing it neat? Why are you making it so messy? Like the way how to say this in English, cakap ayam, something like you write it until like so ugly. But then when your children are not a doctor, they are also disappointed at the same time. How ironic, right? Welcome to Asia. Okay, from this, if you can see like most of your from the handwriting lah. I don't think you all can know which one is my handwriting because I just send and then not everyone are writing the same sentence. From me, I would say I think most of you are at least not too messy in a way. I've seen like some examples like they say handwriting like describe your personality or describe like how a person is trying to behave. Maybe this person, he or she usually write things like quite neat, but maybe one day he just write it quite messy. So like, do you think we can really like detect this person whether he's either lying or rushing or something? I mean, for me, I'm not sure because my words are not that perfect. I can say, like for example, I've seen from some examples are like saying sometimes your word size in the beginning you write the word like most of the time if we are using those paper like test pads, you have the lines and then you just write everything on the line, and some people write it above the line, or some people make their own line. The rules are not for me. It shouldn't be like that. We have our freedom.
I remember lah when I was like my teacher chose me to write the answer on the board lah, but I'm just writing. I didn't notice when I was primary school, I think. Then like after I finished the answer, my teacher was like, "Your writing looks like a roller coaster, up and down."
In a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way lah, because the answer is up, down. I mean the sentence, not the answer, is like how I write it. Like sometimes going up, then sometimes going back down. It's like yeah.
But then you take it in a positive way or a negative way? Like, you know, sometimes
Negative way lah.
I mean, like maybe some teachers they try to remind you to write it neatly. I mean, in a way, just to remind you not to say like why you write.
No, I take it in a bad way lah, because like although like she sound like joking, but her tone very harsh lah, and it's in Malay lah, so it's even harsher lah.
Okay, I never realized the language didn't really matter. But okay, from your handwriting, I mean, from the handwriting you wrote for our sentence, our common sentence, we are still on the way. Yes, we are trying to relate to our channel. So the like, do you think your words now how like from maybe a scale 1 to 10 how much would you rate for your own words, as in neat and like perfect?
I think roughly 7, because I don't usually write that nice, because like every time I'm not taking my time, just like when you're doing notes you need to write fast, right? But now I'm just taking my sweet time. I'm just writing every letter very bad. I not to say it's very pretty, but I say I'm proud of myself, I guess.
What do you think about the rest of the 3 points, like since you rate yourself as 7?
Because I after I write, I still think it's look, but like at least it's better than my notes lah. If you ever see my note lah, they will say, "Oh, this is crap." Even my Chinese teacher always told my mom during family day, parent day, I mean. I wonder why. He'll say, when I'm looking at your son's homework, it's like I'm taking a quiz or something. I need to guess what he's writing.
But then after years, your words are still the same, right? Or did you even like maybe you try to improve?
English, I it's kind of better, but it's still, but it's like better. Then Chinese, I rarely write Chinese, so it still looks like crap.
Okay lah, I understand like most of the time we say, I mean not we say, like I think most of us here are university students. Okay, like we rarely even use pen or like pencil, mechanical pencil or anything like just to use our hand to write. Like, is it like because when we rarely even use a pen to write something, and then we will tend to forget how to write our words, and then like when we write we will form like a new font. Like instead of like, usually when you use Microsoft Word, you cannot be like writing everything from your hand. Looks like Times New Roman, like 12 font size, and then justify, right? You cannot be like that. Do you think like is it because you're typing instead of writing, like it will affect your handwriting?
Yes, like in a way, because every time you're writing, you're like practicing to be better. But like now, you do all your assignments like on computer, you just ta 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 ta, and then you slowly like forget how you write. Unless like those who born like with good handwriting, and then I can't say anything lah. I mean, like even not to say I don't know how to write. I sometimes even forget how to write. I mean, like especially in Chinese, because a Chinese letter have so many different like drawing. It's like a drawing lah to me. Then like in phone it's so easy. You're just typing like the Roman characters, and then the word pops up. But like in real world, you need to write, you need to memorize the lines and stuff. But in English also lah, because sometimes when long words I forget the spelling lah. But like autocorrect lah, because when you're typing in Google Docs or in phone.
Such unhealthy system. I don't usually like write, but I still do notes in pens and pencil. But after I got into degree and foundation, because I'm more on typing, so you have the pleasure time to write, like what you say. Handwriting is getting better and better, but I don't know why lah. You all will tends to forget how to write. You don't do notes one or you all just rely on digitals like autocorrect. And then you all didn't use pen and pencil. That's why you all forget how to use.
Someone I agree lah, but okay, I think for since you're already here lah, how much would you rate for your handwriting from a scale 1 to 10?
I won't give myself a 7 because there's much more people handwriting is much more better than me. Either a 5 or a 6. Most probably a 5.
So you are like saying, no, I mean for the other 5 is just for your confidence, or is it because that maybe you think someone else have better handwriting?
Mine is because my writing is better than what I have. So I will just give myself a 5.
Okay, but okay, like at least you're not giving like yourself less than 5, like 2 or 3, or else you might as well just don't write anything, just typing.
I tend to agree with it, but at the same time, I have to disagree because, like nowadays, we all have been digitalized. We are using like computers and stuff like that to do our work. Like before this, we used to have pen, pencil, and stuff like that. So if you see in the times like now, when you ask someone who has a very good handwriting to write, also the person might not be able to comply with what he or she have written before because of the time.
Okay, since you say that it depends lah, like from the personality, like how much from a scale 1 to 10, how much would you rate for your handwriting?
I would say 6 lah, because why I think like that is because some people tend to have better handwriting than me, and I pretty much feel that I have doctor's handwriting, so it's very complicated and complex for people to understand what I've been writing.
At least you have the potential to be a doctor's handwriting. Yes, just the handwriting.
I legit have doctor's handwriting lah. So a lot of people actually said that my handwriting is terrible, and I have to agree with them lah, to be honest. And regarding how handwriting actually defines personality, I am more on the disagree side, because I feel like handwriting has nothing to do with your personality. I think there's a lot of science studies and articles that have proven that already. So yeah, this is just my 2 cents lah.
Since you say your handwriting are quite terrible, right? So would you rate like less than 5, like from 1 to 10?
3.
Oh no, 3. Okay. Okay, like at least you're not like a proud doctor's handwriting in a way. Okay lah, at least like you all realize lah, like and like for me, my handwriting. If you look at my handwriting, some people might be thinking, like, oh, my handwriting at least can understand, maybe for for certain parts. But if I write it fast, congratulations, I am now qualified to be a doctor. No, just the handwriting. Sorry, I don't think the medical school will just accept me for my handwriting.
I would say, okay, first I'm going to rate my handwriting as a potential 5 or 6, man. Because I'm not that much of a great artist when it comes to writing. I just write like how I casually write in all my work. But when it comes to understanding the personality of a person, I would agree that sometimes handwriting does provide a personality for a person and does apply the personality. Why do I say so? I have a friend from Indonesia. His name is his handwriting is beautiful and he writes cursive writing and I could understand every word he wrote. Ask me to write cursive writing, you're probably wondering what kind of octopus I drew on that one letter. I read his and then it kind of implies his personality of being an elegant and a very generous man because the way he writes it, quote unquote, just shows that he's an elegant person. I wouldn't say it's the causation effect, it's just more like he practiced for his own sake. And also,
so as in like his handwriting is not like since he was young or something, so he just practiced to make it perfect.
Basically, yes. And because it's like he said, it's his goal that he wants to achieve his own like personalized handwriting or personalized cursive writing, where he can like appreciate and feel grateful and feel like, you know what, this is my handwriting and I'm proud of it, instead of just having to be like me lah. Let's just say lah, my kind of handwriting is in the middle of when you are writing your English essay at SPM.
From what I studied, especially in one of my units last semester, because we did touch a bit about pseudoscience. And in that pseudoscience, we did talk about how graphology is actually a non-true science lah. So basically, those graphologists who are involved, they actually try to bias their results and everything to try to make it seem like their results look legit, even though there have been contradicting evidence against it. But I'm not being like very skeptical. I want to see like both sides and see what's their proof and everything lah. So I don't know what to say about like when somebody say that handwritings can make a personality, like it tells a lot about personality. Maybe it does for a few people, but if you were to take the generalized population, it couldn't be the case, because I don't think there's 100% of doctors in this world have like bad handwriting.
Yeah, more or less, I do agree with your statement actually. Not gonna lie, that is a very good statement. But yeah, as you mentioned yourself, there's only like not a lot. I would say like 20 to 30% of or probably even less than 30, like 25% of human population that can actually undergo personalization through handwriting.
Yeah. I would like to see more of the results on graphology first and see whether is it true or not, or is it classified as extreme science.
Let's make a hypothesis.
Yes, I need evidence now. The hypothesis has been set already.
I think for now the highest marks 7 out of 10, and the lowest is 3 out of 10. That's quite low though actually.
I believe everyone here has undergone SPM, right?
Yes, all Malaysians here.
Okay, cool. So, can we all recall back to either English, Bahasa Melayu, or Sejarah paper 3, where at the start of all the essay side, our handwriting is so neat and so almost perfect to our desire. And then when it comes to when time was almost up, it ends up becoming doctor's handwriting. Can we all agree we went through that?
Your first step to medical school. Yes, just the first step.
Suddenly, I feel pity for the teachers who are marking our SM papers.
Yeah, I know, right? I agree on that, because we all start to try to write out as neat as possible, and then you know what? And then after that, we're like, you know what? And then we just write because our hands just like carry on already. We don't care how bad the word is as long as we get our answers out. I remember by Sejarah paper 3, our hands should be painful as hell already. Confirm painful already. It's like It's like,
After copying like 15 pages worth from that textbook or reference book.
which only accounts to 20% of our grade only, by the way.
Hey, but you gotta admit that 20% can be life or death for us when it comes to gaining the marks.
True lah, true lah. It really boosts our marks a lot lah, to be honest.
Can we just ask someone to suggest, like, next time we just bring in a keyboard to go and type everything? But don't last minute you go and press the delete button. Congratulations, see you in 3 years.
Delete, that is the moment you realize you screwed up, is when you press the delete, everything goes missing, and you just look at the blank screen and be like, you know what? I'm gonna jump off the building now.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Isn't there is a undo button?
Depending on the software and how you delete. Some people can mistakenly screw up the delete and then like permanently delete without a history or restoration. Unless, of course, you're smart enough to go through the BIOS lah. BIOS, or you can command it back.
Like some dumb people, they just press delete and then they are so panicked. Instead of pressing undo, they press save. Bye.
I think if you, like, let's say if you didn't save your file and then everything got deleted, I think Windows still keep one backup, so you just need to try to navigate the files into it lah. They still have your back, I think Windows still have your back lah, to be honest. I read about this online before. Like, if you up and your file all got deleted, but then you didn't save and you still can manage to navigate the files and find back the file one, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. Windows 10 in cooperation with Microsoft have undergone that. What is this? It's like some kind of cloud, but it's internally between them. So there's always a file copy for you to, recover from.
So if come to rating my own handwriting, I think I'm around 4, 5, 6, depending on my emotions and also the time being given for writing. And also I have a habit is that when I'm using a new book, a new notebook, or whatever book test bag, the first page of the book will be writing very neatly. And then starting from the second page, the third page become more like maybe alien wordings. And then come to the last page, I will write it very neatly again. I don't know whether you all have this kind of habit or not.
My habit is starts very neatly, ends with becoming some kind of Egyptian hieroglyph.
And I don't know, I also have a habit is that once I have used the correction tape or the liquid paper to edit my word, and then after that, my handwriting will be like very terrible. I don't have the emotion to do. I don't have the mood to write very neatly again. Once I use the correction tape.
Press F for correction tape.
Correction tape, RIP.
I hate correction tape and liquid paper.
I despise the existence of liquid paper, but I like correction tape a bit more. Liquid paper causes so much of a mess.
For my rating of my handwriting is because sometimes my friends and also my teacher have the difficulties in recognizing my O and my U, my A and U, and then the Y and G. I don't know whether you all have this habit. It's like my Y will be, the tail of my Y will be super long until I hit the second line. If I'm writing in test bag, super long.
Instead of getting a test bag, if you're getting just white paper, there's nothing else there, no line, nothing. Someone asks you to write something, but then instead you're starting to make your own art, like your signature. So like there's no specific part for you to write the words, right? That's why your words will be all freestyle. And then but then when you are getting all lines, you still never follow the rules because like YOLO, you just prefer to write whenever you want, like however you want. That's why the lines are just a decoration and for illustration purpose, and you just write whatever you want.
That only applies for the maths book. Otherwise, the normal line book, I'll just follow what it does lah.
Yeah, I guess for now we are not really going to write. I mean, as in all university students. I don't think anyone else after secondary school they're still going to use pen and pencil. Like, I mean, as in for assignment report lah. if you really want to do that, I think it's better for you to quit that university. That's the fastest way to avoid exposing your handwriting.
Imagine you need to write 5,000 plus words for your assignment report.
And then plagiarism 30% plus.
Speaking of handwriting, anyone here tried writing down other languages? Just writing down the other languages using your own handwriting?
And that will be another whole new language.
Considering that, what is this? I did try writing and understanding Russian.
Wait, so you write Russian words as well? After
Yes, I did. But then after I came to college, I had no time for that because everything was just assignment.
He is actually speaking Russian.
You should say that during your sleep, not now.
I say that. I bloody say that in my sleep,
every day. It's still every day, or like what?
No. Depending on the what happens throughout the day.
Yeah, by the way, for those who haven't watched the second episode, please go back and then you'll know about sleep. Yes.
Did your Russian handwriting change your personality?
He is actually still speaking Russian.
Is that a good answer?
Well, I guess you are not partially drunk, you're fully drunk. Alright, thank you.
He is actually still speaking Russian.
Someone please go to his house and check whether he is sleeping now.
Okay, going now.
Good morning, everyone.
I mean, like back when I was secondary, I write Chinese every day, and it frustrates you, because one word requires you like so many focus. It's very tiring to write in Chinese, and it frustrates me a lot.
And considering if you make one small tiny mistake, that dash at the top there too long or too short, or just you add something extra, it can mean a whole different meaning. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, not just it means something else, it also doesn't look like a word already. And like some dot are meant to be short, then like the third dot somehow is like longer, then like if you f up, it means another word or even not a word.
Welcome to a new word. Like how usually people write it, like how it analyze a person's character, personality, their abilities. Like for example, like how usually I write. Actually, I don't know how to explain about my handwriting because it really depends. It just start flying if I really don't feel like I want to write. I just write for the sake of writing. Like for example, we have the size. Like some people, like for me, I myself, the way I write word, everything is a bit slightly bigger. Like because usually the line, I will be making my own lines instead of following their lines because the lines are so small. Those lines are not even enough for me. I don't know why. Even if they are bigger lines, I'll still make it bigger. I'll just make my own way. Any one of you usually write words that are smaller instead of like average and large letters? Because for me, I will be in between average and large.
I think for this one is depending on what kind of paper that you are writing on. If like you are writing on a sticky note, confirm your writing will be more smaller compared with if you are writing on the test pad. For me, my handwriting is keep changing in terms of the size when I'm writing on different papers.
So like if I give you a big blank whiteboard, you'll write very big.
I won't be writing like until I reach the whole whiteboard, but then on the whiteboard, my handwriting will tend to be a bit larger compare with the writing on the test pad.
I would say my handwriting really depends on what I'm writing on. Sticky notes is going to be definitely super tiny. Normal exercise books and normal worksheets that you all use, that everyone uses, basically A4 size. Those are like medium size onwards. Whiteboard, well, depends what I'm doing.
I mean, depend on the situation lah. If you are like doing your homework or something, of course you want to write it fast. But if you are like writing a story or like brainstorming something, then I think that kind of situation you would want to write it slowly, keep the word more beautiful or something.
I mean, usually you prefer to write it fast or write it slow, or you just use the average speed lah. Like if you write it slow, you will be just slow. Like you won't be like, okay, today I'll be fast, tomorrow I'll be slow, depending on my mood or something. Actually, it's more or less the same like how you speak lah. If for those who have been listening to me talking crap, sometimes I speak fast. Sometimes when I want to say something, I speak very slow. Any one of you prefer to write it slowly? I mean, as low as possible. Like YOLO, you have the time.
I think for most of the Malaysian students, we are trained to write faster because if like during secondary school or primary school, your teacher will be keep writing notes on the whiteboard or blackboard, and then you all are forced to copy the notes inside your exercise book, and then after the teacher has finished half of the whiteboard, and then she will just erase it and then continue with another notes. So if you didn't catch up, that you are totally being lost. I don't know whether your school have this kind of culture or not.
For those who are having online class, please appreciate this. You don't have to copy anymore. The teacher or your lecturer or your whoever will just submit it. Not submit, just upload all the notes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to write fast because I have this maths teacher that does weird things, like she write very fast and a lot of like stuff. She write a lot, and like okay, she divide the two whiteboards into 4 parts. And he write okay, first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. Then after she finished, she need to write. Right? She need to erase, right? But the funny thing is, she did not erase the first part. She go and erase the second part, which a lot of us haven't finished. And then she was like, "Maba, kamu sangat slow ni. Cakap sajalah." I mean, like, we are talking in the class. That's why we haven't copied the part in time. But he didn't erase the first part. He erased the second part. I mean, I don't know why. What is she thinking, lah?
Yeah, this is big brain time.
Usually you erase like in order, right? But like no, she just like erased like the one that she wrote the latest and then decided to say, "Oh, you guys didn't copy in time."
For now, we are trying to follow one series. This series, this episode, we will be talking about first impression from handwriting, how the personalities, and how usually we write, why, like maybe how we experience to make our handwriting better. Like how Ari said, like someone used to practice their handwriting. I'm somewhat impressed by that person. It's like for me, I don't even care about my handwriting as long as you can understand my handwriting. That's already good enough. Appreciate that. Yeah, something like that. So if you all want the second episode, I mean, as in this series, maybe just follow us more, like for the next episode. Because our next episode, I mean, for this series, will be more to left-handed versus right-handed. Yeah, this will be our next episode. I think that's all for this episode. Yeah, you can follow us on either Spotify, Google Podcasts, or if possible, YouTube better. Thank you. YouTube, we need more subscribers. Thank you. Yeah, we are still on the way. Bye.